start. Should I say hi, Abha?
Hi, Sue.
Anyway, I'll just jump right into it. And like, welcome to Satyako in Conversations with Funny series that Satya has been doing every alternate days, where we talk with artists, designers, writers, illustrators, anybody that's involved with, has been a part of Satya or involved with Satya or has inspired Satya in the years that they have come to become. Um, because you are our 20th guest, I think. 2-0. So Marisa Kasma, I did this question, like I wanted to start with the beginning, that I decided I'll jump right in there. Because you've been lost, I have been getting messages and you have been getting messages. Like there was a message saying you've been off social media. So how has the days, how are you like managing what is happening all day in your life? What are you doing?
I'm actually doing many things. Well, it's like I don't have time when I complain I mean, if somebody asked me like तसँग time bhएको भए चाहिँ के गर्थिस् भनेर सोध्या भए चाहिँ त्यसको एन्सरहरु चाहिँ अहिले दिइराछु के म because I've been doing courses अनि सुति पनि राछु रेस्ट पनि लिइराछु म and then I finally started working out अनि बेक गर्न थाले because सुरुमा त एकदम पाउरोटीको खाँचो भइरहेको थियो नि सुरुको लकडाउनमा अनि मलाई एकदम मिस भयो so yeah I started baking अनि yeah I've been doing a lot of things but also resting तर yeah much needed downtime जस्तो लिइराछु छु अहिले चाहिँ
and how about work, because the freelance garthis ni ta, so even before the pandemic happened. So as a writer or as an illustrator, as a brand communicator, so त्यो चाहिँ के भइरहेछ? How have you been, like अहिले थप्पै भएको छ कि, or have you been getting work?
I know work and it's pretty good because nothing really changed. It's a freelance work from home or work from anywhere so पुरानो क्लायन्ट्सहरु पनि हुनुहुन्छ मेरो नयाँ क्लायन्ट्सहरु पनि थपिनु भएको छ so yeah as a freelancer चाहिँ म I've been making contents for brands अनि on the other hand say like NGOs हरुको लागि illustrate पनि गरिदिरहेको छु उहाँहरुको handbookहरुको लागि yeah work front चाहिँ I'm good मलाई ठ्याक्क लकडाउन भएको पर्सिपल्टै जस्तो ट्याक्क like अकाउन्टमा पैसा पनि आयो थियो so I'm sorted for now जस्तो भइरहेछ
so oh my god तिम्रो भन्दैन है तै भन्छ है so awkward रहेछ so तेरो बायोमा चाहिँ everywhere that I digged up is हैन अनि so your bio reads primarily as writer and illustrator. So can you elaborate on that? Why do you say primarily as writer? Because people know you as an illustrator more. Little things go through that, but then I don't know if many people, except for the people that you work with, who knows ki you wrote for Kathmandu Post. So why do you? So your writing, like alikati elaborate garna tero as a writer ko journey or
as a writer, say the reason why I use the term primary चाहिँ किन भन्छु भन्दाखेरि मैले work industry मा enter गर्दाखेरि नै as a writer enter गरेँ हैन this was 10 years ago, a decade ago म 18 वर्षको थिएँ and I just graduated high school अनि मैले त्यति बेला एउटा magazine join गरेँ and then त्यति बेला चाहिँ what I felt was writing was my true calling जस्तो लाग्थ्यो के मलाई म चाहिँ म त राइटरै बन्ने हो writer बनेरै like I'm gonna be famous, I'm gonna make money भनेर जस्तो हुन्छ
I think I remember that time हाम्रो
yeah so like most of my friends still just say I think new people that have come into my life उहाँहरूले चाहिँ मलाई हेर्दाखेरि कतिजनाले as an illustrator हेर्नुहुन्छ होला तर मेरो साथीहरूले चाहिँ प्रायः जस्तो they look at me like a writer अनि मेरो क्लायन्टहरू पनि जति पनि क्लायन्ट बेस छ उहाँहरूले मलाई दिने काम भने राइटिङ वरिपरि नै रिभल्भ गर्छ that's why I mean that's one marketable skill that I have and that's what I use to make money अनि illustrator चाहिँ Yeah, like you said, अहिले little things खोलेपछि चाहिँ कतिजनाले illustrator भन्नुहुन्छ, and that's a term I go by too, but then I'm not quite ready to identify as an illustrator. हुन्छ नि मलाई कस्तो awkward लाग्छ अनि होइन भनेर I see all these amazing Nepali illustrators and I see all these amazing global illustrators अनि आफ्नो काम हेरेर आफू नै पो हो र जस्तो लाग्छ. राइटिङको केसमा चाहिँ अलिकति कन्फिडेन्स आइसक्यो, but yeah, illustrationमा चाहिँ I feel like there's so much that I still need to learn. Yeah, I hope I answered the question.
Yeah, kind of did, like the primarily ko kurama cha, you know. So like I remember us when we were 18 and we met in this workshop, and then we had this toile jun bhanis ni, like you will be like you'll be famous as a writer, and I think we have lots of Facebook ko त्यो avatar where we have comic about that, and will be rich being a writer. So coming to that, like their writing journey, how did it start? As it to do anything with mom, mamule garikana influence bhayo ki
I know. As far as my memory goes, my first memory of knowing or feeling that I want to write, say, म ठ्याक्क class 7 मा थिएँ. मलाई यो चाहिँ एकदमै झल्झली याद आउँछ नि. It's a very vivid memory. अनि class 7 मा चाहिँ हाम्रो के भन्छ English टिचरले कथा लेखेर like story लेखेर ल्याऊ भनेर भन्नुभएको थियो. And then everybody was supposed to read it out loud to the class. हामीले कथा लेख्यो अनि त्यसपछि भोलिपल्ट चाहिँ सेयर गर्नुपर्ने थियो. अनि मैले त्यो आफ्नो कथा अहिले हेर्दाखेरि I'm pretty sure एकदमै हावा थियो होला त्यति बेलाको कन्टेक्स्टमा चाहिँ पढ्दाखेरि. अनि मेरो टिचरले that's a really good story, maybe हुन्छ नि maybe you'll become a writer जस्तो कुरा गरेको थियो, गर्नुभएको थियो. अनि त्योभन्दा अगाडि चाहिँ I mean, I wanted to be many things. I thought I'd be a lawyer, I'd be a doctor. But I didn't know कि मलाई science मन पर्दैन, economics, law खासै धेरै interest छैन भनेर. But yeah, अनि त्यो teacherले चाहिँ he sort of planted the seed inside my head. अनि I thought I'd be a writer. अनि त्यही high school सकेपछि पनि I did so bad मेरो high school grades man. I was like, म त I'm supposed to be a creative भने जस्तो हुन्छ नि. Because my grades are so poor, I'm definitely supposed to be a creative जस्तो लाग्थ्यो त्यति बेला. So that's the reason I jumped into writing एकैचोटि नै after high school. अनि जति लेखेँ, as I grew, I also really enjoyed the process. अनि because writing is so much about afne consciousness dive in. It's all about diving into your own consciousness or like observing things ani the observer is that I express गर्ने हो. And I really enjoyed the process. अनि पछि चाहिँ so for a while I worked as a journalist or feature writer. अनि then एक दिन त्यो jobs Nepal हो कि मेरो job जस्तै this job listing I saw this post for visualizer भन्ने visualizer भनेर चाहिँ किनभने ad agency you're supposed to ideate खालको हुन्छ नि. You're supposed to come up with ideas to express something and it goes beyond just word खालको. त्यसमा चाहिँ you have to imagine, you have to use like visual cues and everything. अनि त्यो job गर्न थालेपछि चाहिँ मेरो I feel like I started expanding into more avenues. So while writing has always been a part of me, this I was like, yeah, there is more to world than just writing one. Then I started exploring. At least I'd say I don't want to be just limited to writing. And that's how I started venturing. I mean, that's how I also started illustrating digitally.
Like then, but you still did like doodles or around this because, and then you were kind of experimenting with stop motion animation. Like I think when we were in college, you were doing those stuff, right? So like कसरी चाहिँ त्यहाँबाट चाहिँ हुन्छ नि डुडल्सबाट चाहिँ like digital illustration or little things चाहिँ त्यो जर्नी चाहिँ कसरी डेभलप हुन थाल्यो तेरो लागि चाहिँ?
Doodling, doodling, it was also always a part of me, so even my class concentrate corner, like doodle corner, like I have pen and paper in front of me so that like I can doodle unsani. So it was always a part of me, but I never thought I could take it forward as a profession unless I met until I met people who were actually considered who actually considered doing it खालको जस्तै अब Sabin my business partner for Little Things उसले illustrate गरिरहेको थियो digitally हैन त्यति बेला when I started digitally illustrating अनि I've said this story over and over again, but I'm gonna repeat it again. So we were चिया खाइरहेको थियो and I was like, oh, if there was something that I could do, if money was not an issue or if I didn't have to put too much thought into it, मलाई केही गर्न सकेको भए चाहिँ म कार्डको बिजनेस गर्छु भनेर भनेको थिएँ कि मैले त्यति बेला अनि त्यसपछि he was like ल नि त I'll teach you how to illustrate digitally भनेर अनि उसले सिकाएको हो मलाई डिजिटल इलस्ट्रेसन चाहिँ अनि सिक्न थालेपछि त्यही हो सिक्न थालेँ and then I started making more doodles and बिस्तारै passion like what was just a learning process turned into a passion project and it eventually turned into a business.
But Lil Thing started as a card company, and then it kind of also like how you branched out from writing to other forms of media. Lil Things also branched out from just a card company to making all sorts of merchandises. To jump say kasari bhayo? Like was that a point where you were like, hey now I also want to do mugs or totes or
it was a very organic process. हामीले कार्ड्सहरू बनाउँदै बेच्न थालेपछि चाहिँ हाम्रो जति पनि एकदमै निश क्राउड थियो हैन हाम्रो फलोइङको अनि तर उहाँहरूले हाम्रै कस्टमर्सहरूले चाहिँ के भन्न थाल्नुभयो भने यो कार्डको डिजाइन यसमा पनि प्रिन्ट गर्न पाए भए लाइक कपमा पनि प्रिन्ट गर्न पाए भए टी सर्टमा पनि प्रिन्ट गर्न पाए भए ब्यागमा पनि प्रिन्ट गर्न पाए भए अझै रमाइलो हुन्थ्यो हुन्छ नि कार्ड मात्रै दिनुपर्छ त इफ वी कुड एक्चुली युज योर इलस्ट्रेसन्स इट वुड बी रियली गुड भनेर फिडब्याक आउन थालेपछि चाहिँ आर्ट गरेको हो अनि त्यो आर्ट गर्नुको अर्को कारण चाहिँ अगेन Sabinle Butta already चलाइरहेको थियो and he was already into merchandising. So he was like, yeah, this is doable. But she said we sort of, jumped into that part. We ventured into Oru merchandising. Funny.
Ani, this is turning out to be very entrepreneurial question. Tara, how was your family support? Because I knew knowing uncle, auntie, and didi, Vina, I know they have been very supportive of you being a writer or you venturing out as a creative. So then business ma jump garदाखेरि चाहिँ what was their reaction or
I think my parents learned it pretty early in life कि म चाहिँ अलिकति अलि deviant खालको छु भनेर त्यो like हुन्छ नि जे they were not surprised to say the least because घरमा कसैले त्यस्तो अलि वाइल्ड काम गर्ने भए मनै it had to be me खालको to actually dream of running a business खालको so they were not surprised but I'm sure उहाँहरू अलिकति concerned हुनुहुन्थ्यो होला like is this a good idea भने जस्तो त obviously थियो होला तर they let me explore the part-मा चाहिँ उहाँहरूले they just took a seat back अनि त्यसपछि ल जे गर्नु छ गर हेरौँ where this goes भन्ने जस्तो भएको थियो and then पछि so हामीले पसल we actually had a storefront in 2017 we opened up the storefront then तर त्योभन्दा अगाडि चाहिँ we were just doing an online business so त्यति बेला पनि wait and watch थियो तर जब मैले म store खोल्छु and I'm sure about this and I need help भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ they were very supportive उहाँहरूले नै invest गरिदिनु भएको हो so yeah it's been a really nice support system and especially मेरो दिदीले चाहिँ she was like मलाई experiment गर्नु छ भने this is the time to experiment भनेर उहाँ चाहिँ because she's married and she's in her late 30s and she was like maybe things will not be the same once you commit to a relationship or commit to a marriage or
You're running it online, but you're also like art market and यताउता पनि भइरहेको छ तिमीहरूको but store चाहिँ कहाँबाट दिमागमा आयो or start like you want to store भन्ने feel भयो
Thanks for mentioning art market. मैले त्यो चाहिँ मेन्सन गर्नु बिर्सिरहेको थिएँ. So little things online business हुँदाखेरि पनि we were not quite sure where this is going. अनि तर art market first art market जाँदाखेरि चाहिँ म एकदमै nervous थिएँ because it's so much easier to sell things when you're not in front of the customers हुन्छ नि. फोनबाट सेल गर्दाखेरि like digitally सेल गर्दाखेरि आफ्नो अनुहार देखाउनु पर्दैन, आफूले डिल गर्नु पर्दैन नि. Going to art market meant कि I would have to go there and talk to people and त्यति बेला पनि you know little things online हुँदाखेरि पनि कहिले कहाँबाट काम गरिरहेको थियो अरुण थापा चोकबाट अनि ठ्याक्क अरुण थापा चोकमै सटर खाली भएपछि चाहिँ यस्तो हेऱ्यो होइन त्यति बेला जुन हाम्रो सटर थियो त्यो सटरलाई यसो हेऱ्यौँ हामीले अनि आर्ट गर्ने हो भनेर इट वाज अ भेरी इम्पल्सिभ डिसिजन आर्ट गर्ने हो भनेर लाइक डु वी have anything to lose भनेर आर्ट गर्नु इट वाज very impulsive एकदमै त्यो भन्छ नि
Yeah, I think I remember that because म त्यति बेला यहाँ थिइनँ and suddenly you were like I want to open a store and then I'm like okay and
because यस्तो पनि भयो अनलाइनमा ट्राफिक पाइरहेको थियो तर वाट इफ भन्ने क्वेसन चाहिँ थियो लाइक स्टोर खोल्यो भने मान्छेले आफै इन्टरेक्ट गर्नु पाउनु भयो भने चाहिँ बेटर हुन्छ कि जस्तो पनि थियो एन्ड देन भन्नाले like having a store त्यति बेला for it was 3 years ago and I was still quite young अनि त्यति बेला चाहिँ मलाई it felt like having a store would validate our work more भन्ने जस्तो पनि थियो अनि so त्यति बेला मैले काम पनि गरिरह भएर मलाई चाहिँ मेरो स्यालेरीले मात्र भए पनि म धान्छु पनि लाग्थ्यो कि सो एकदमै इम्पल्सिभ आर्टै गरेर खोलेको हो लास्ट डेसम्म पनि we're still making decisions about like कसरी how are we gonna take this forward how are we gonna promote this भनेर इनफ्याक्ट मैले सत्यलाई नै पनि probably opening को एक हप्ता अगाडि अथवा 2-3 दिन अगाडि मात्र message गरे होला because we have so much space it would be great if we could collaborate and you know bring other artists to work in one else.
So before we delve into store you know let's talk about little things bhayla alikati more what kind of because you did cards you did totes you did mugs and every other merchandise Nepalma paune chahi so what kind of designs were you actually huncha ni doing kinaki teroma it wasn't just an illustration that had the design but it also had words phrases geetaru so how can you explain that process what kind of inspired you to bring those products out and also like show some of your designs
I think it would be easier है मैले सबैजनालाई एक्चुअली स्क्रिन शेयर गर्दै भने चाहिँ ए नपाउनु हुन्छ होला Can you see?
Yes.
So हामीले like I said हामीले गर्ने काम चाहिँ एकदमै quirky अनि you know funny खालको छ so अनि inspiration पनि everyday life बाट everyday you know communications बाट आउँथ्यो जस्तो यसमा you know जे भयो नि साथी हामी एकै ड्याङका मुला भने एकै ड्याङका मुला भने त it's we've used that term since forever नि त पहिलेदेखि नै साथीहरू मिल्ने छ भने we've been using that term अनि यो मन अझै तिमीमै अल्झिएको छ you know things like that and this was actually you can see right देखिरहेछ यो
देखिरहेछ
Yo, this was the first design ever. We met over Facebook, exchanged confessions through email, but I can tell we fell in love over that first cup of coffee. Vanilla. So, yeah, it was daily, but I didn't tune. So, this pattern inspired by the products design गर्न थाल्यौं अनि अघि नै भने जस्तै नै how it grew चाहिँ it was very organic, very very organic. हाम्रो कस्टमर्सले डिमान्ड गर्न थाल्नु भएपछि we were like, so this was one of our best selling badges, find me where the wild things are. यो पनि this was a pretty famous के भन्छ badge हैन, chia for all the chia lovers. On your long distance wala, I actually designed this when somebody I really liked was going back to another country, Khalgo. Muri muri dhanyawad. Again, it's something that we use ekdamai regularly. Sakhewako jodi bhane pani jallai pani jo love bird lai pani, that's a term I literally grew up hearing, हैन, sakhewako jodi bhanera. Ani yo चाहिँ मेरो मलाई poop emoji ekdamai मन पर्छ. So yeah, wishing you an unconstipated year ahead. This could be used for birthday as well as New Year. And this is our best-selling tote bag. Yeah. यसमा चाहिँ काठमाडौँ त्यति बेलाको काठमाडौँले के represent गर्छ, whatever came to our mind, त्यसलाई illustrate गरेर यो चाहिँ डिजाइनमा हाल्दिएको थियौँ हामीले. It's still a hit. Emotional baggage, funny, I guess it's something that we keep talking about. We all come with an emotional baggage, so they it made so much sense to put this design into a bag. There. Sorry, what was the question?
The process of making those designs, and this is what inspired them.
And they are regular, everything, everyday life inspired our designs. Everyday conversations, everyday contemplations.
And what about like the process, Anthony? Because Tana Sabin Dubai Milera little things around. As far as I know, you're basically the front face who does the design and come up with these ideas. So then Sabin also helps because he's also a designer / illustrator, right? And Sabin is usually back in my camp or something down, tote back lina and all stuff. So to process the design ko process, if you could just, if it's okay, like market ma secrets bhanna like.
No, there's no secret. Usually बाटोमा हिँडिरा हुन्छ, idea फुर्छ, टक्क idea आउँछ, and then you just go back to your workspace and then illustrate that idea. अनि लाइन पनि त्यही अनुसार, कविताहरू फुर्या जस्तै त हो, लाइनहरू जति बेला फुर्यो त्यही अनुसार इलस्ट्रेट गर्यो, अथवा पहिला इलस्ट्रेट गर्यो त्यसलाई म्याच गर्ने lines here. Sometimes there are only words, sometimes there are only illustrations. And once that's done, once that's designed digitally, what we do is we talk about the design. Tik sa na sell hunsa ki hudaina, sell na bhaye pani do we want to promote it or not bhane jasto huncha. And once green light paisakepachi chai the design le we send it to our printers. And for some reason, I don't want to hide our printers because they're the best guys in town and they do the best jobs. That's the IDPS, so it's in control. It's IDPS, or could say Fusion or Robin Dai from Fusion, and etapati Ajay Dai and Krishna Dai. They're the best people. It's so supportive hununcha. Ani hamro designer kati choti to suruma hamlai the proportions milauna आउँदैन थियो. They told us what proportions to use. And they actually taught us illustrator skills. And so time save and we've spent like so much time printing shops. So yeah, I can't like praise them enough. They're the best people in the world, especially for a budding artist. Definitely go to them if you need prints. Quality is ekdamai राम्रो छ, and they guide you through process. अनि त्यही हो. अनि एकचोटि print गरेपछि चाहिँ we take photos, we promote it. त्यसपछि त्यसपछि कस्टमर्सको कोर्टमा बल जान्छ उहाँहरूले जसरी अप्रोच गर्नुहुन्छ हामीले त्यसरी रेस्पोन्ड गर्छौँ.
Okay, so there are a few questions from the viewers, होइन? So before that, I just want to add one more. Jun, you guys also did you guys still do customization, होइन? So त्यसको process चाहिँ के हुन्छ when you're talking with the customizing your cards?
कस्टमाइज गर्ने बेला चाहिँ प्रायः जसो हाम्रो रेगुलर कस्टमर चाहिँ आउनुहुन्छ. हामी कहाँ जो क्लाइन्ट आउनुहुन्छ नि कस्टमाइजेसनको लागि उहाँहरू चाहिँ देयर भेरी क्लियर अन वाट दे वान्ट खालको. अनि सो वाट वी डु इज वी सिट टुगेदर. उहाँहरूले आइडिया भन्नुहुन्छ अथवा दे जस्ट एकदमै मनपर्ने प्रोसेस चाहिँ युजली कस्टमाइजेसनको लागि आउँदाखेरि दे कम टु अस for a gift that they want to give it to a loved one, you know. So initial process say we learn about the relationship they have with this person. It could be उहाँहरूको साथीलाई दिन खोजिराख्नु भएको हुनसक्छ, उहाँहरूको मायालुलाई दिन खोजिराख्नु भएको हुनसक्छ, or like parents. And then we learn about the process, we learn about the relationship, उहाँहरूको के छ कस्तो छ भनेर. अनि we get these insights in their stories as well. अनि त्यही स्टोरिजबाट एलिमेन्ट्स पिकअप गरेर or उहाँहरूकै डिमान्ड अनुसार उहाँहरूको रिक्वायरमेन्ट्स पिकअप गरेर एकदमै ब्याक एन्ड फोर्थ हुन्छ. त्यसपछि चाहिँ प्रोसेस हामी डिजाइन गर्छौँ, उहाँहरूलाई देखाउँछौँ, चित्त बुझेन फेरि त्यही अनुसार फिडब्याक लिएर चेन्ज गर्छौँ. कोलाबोरेटिभै हुन्छ प्रोसेस. अनि once it's finalized, then we go ahead with printing. Printing costs are definitely customized भन्ने बित्तिकै it's not as cheap as mass price, so अलिकति expensive चाहिँ हुन्छ, but yeah, it's something they want. It's something they're willing to invest in.
So कस्टमाइजेसनको कुरामा चाहिँ अब रूपम श्रेष्ठजीले चाहिँ फेसबुकमा सोध्नु भएछ, मिस आभाजी एनी कर्पोरेट गिफ्ट आइडियाज एज वेल भनेर. So
corporate ideas, actually Rupam Shresthajiसँग चाहिँ I worked at Vichitra. That was my turning point. अघि भने जस्तै ad agency मा काम गर्दाखेरि अनि it was a really nice place. मलाई एकदमै हाँस उठ्यो. He's a really cool guy. I don't know, there are so many things that you can, like corporate मा पनि उहाँकै डिमान्ड अनुसार गर्न सकिन्छ. We can talk about it.
Over what? You are not on any social media, so over your email?
Yeah, over the email. I'm definitely connected to Rupamji online. Messenger ma छु जस्तो लाग्छ.
Okay. Similarly, Sunny Vaidya has two questions. एउटा चाहिँ how would you Avadi describe तपाईँको little things को experience, the whole thing, like emotions, business learnings हरू? And second is say he find it very hard time being creative and he kind of envies creative people, to be honest. So how does the whole creative process, how does it lie in seeing minute things, or like observing more and taking more time, like just like observing what minute things ma creative whole process lies in that one? I think that's what he's asking.
Creative process ko कुरा like he talks about creative मान्छेहरु देख्यो भने चाहिँ envy को जुन कुरा गर्नु भयो नि उहाँले, so I think that's something everybody goes through जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई पनि. In fact मलाई याद छ भर्खर this was back in 2011 होला, मैले सत्याको बारेमा थाहा पाउँदाखेरि सत्या अर्गनाइजेसनको बारेमा चाहिँ. अनि पछि I was so intimidated by everybody who's there. हुन्छ नि क्या खतरा animator रे, क्या खतरा illustrator रे, सबैजना creative रे. अनि they had this really cool hangout space. जाउला खेलमा मलाई त त्यो के चाहिँ गेटबाट भित्र पस्ने बित्तिकै डुक 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 हुने.
Intimidating feel हुँदै पुरा inferiority complex हुन्थ्यो.
त्यही त I feel I'm easily intimidated कि मलाई cool creative मान्छेहरु छ भने म एकदमै त्यो डाइरेक्सनमा हेर्न पनि मलाई अलिकति उसरी लाज लाग्छ भने जस्तै. अनि so yeah, so I guess it's something that we all go through. The how I coped with that feeling is sometimes हामीले creativity लाई पनि एकदमै hype गरिरहेको हुन्छ. It's not like कोहीको मान्छेहरु चाहिँ एकदमै खतरा क्रिएटिभ अनि कोहीको मान्छेमा चाहिँ क्रिएटिभिटी नै नहुने भने जस्तो, like surfaceमा त्यस्तो देखिएला, but I feel like सबैजना creative हुन्छन्, because at the end of the day creativity comes out of what you're feeling inside and how you want to express it जस्तो पनि लाग्छ. or अघि भने जस्तै डेली लाइफमै जे जे कुराले इन्सपायर गरिरहेछ त्यो कुरालाई कसरी टिपेर कसरी एक्सप्रेस गर्ने, कसरी ट्रान्सफर्म गर्ने हो कि जस्तो पनि लाग्छ. अनि तर या इन्टिमिडिएसन त हुन्छ, मैले जति गफ हाने पनि म पनि इन्टिमिडिएटेड त फिल गर्छु है. आई गेस इट्स अबाउट ट्रेनिङ योर सेल्फ टु बी ओके विथ द्याट, अल्दो आइम नट ओके विथ इट. सो गफै मात्रै त्यहाँ जस्तो हुन्छ. But I guess, yeah, you have to be okay with maybe what might help is when you're being creative, or Mateo, this is something that I do, it might work for you. When I'm creating, I try to not think about the audience, because audience ko barema sochne bittike मैले के कुरा create गर्ने बित्तिकै audience ले कसरी respond गर्नुहुन्छ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ त्यो डुक 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 हुन्छ, and then मलाई anxiety हुन्छ. So I end up creating nothing, बरु आफ्नैलाई create गर्ने, and then if you want to share it, नत्र even if you keep it to yourself, I think it would, you're still being creative जस्तो लाग्छ. अनि अर्को little things को कुरा चाहिँ, the whole experience was a roller coaster ride. एकदमै, it was a complete roller coaster ride. त्यस्तो नै highs and lows यतिकै नै हुन्छ नि, सुइँ माथि जाने सुइँ तल आउने नै हुन्थ्यो. हाइज चाहिँ केमा थियो भन्दाखेरि, to have little things for me meant I have something to call my own. It felt like I have a baby, मेरो बच्चा हो, and I want to show it to the world भने जस्तो हुन्थ्यो. लोज चाहिँ केमा हुने भन्दाखेरि, बदमास बच्चा भयो भने if you are not proud of that kid, how do you want to show it off to the world भने जस्तो. धेरैचोटि चाहिँ again the question arose कि मैले जे गरिरहेछु, does it have meaning or not भने जस्तो, is it worth all the trouble or not भने जस्तो. And then again the question आउने बित्तिकै, when you start questioning your work, it's very difficult for you to deal with the public, deal with the mass. कसरी आफूलाई प्रमोट गर्ने, कसरी little things लाई प्रमोट गर्ने भने त्यति बेला एकदमै लुज फिल हुन्थ्यो. And then emotional challenges धेरै नै थियो हैन, के गर्ने कसो गर्ने, like do I really want to do this भने जस्तो. हाम्रो फ्युचर के छ त, कति इन्भेस्ट गर्नु चाहिँ ठिक हुन्छ, एनर्जी टाइम पैसाको हिसाबमा. All those questions were always there. Some days we would like come thought on काम, so you know that you have to do that work, तर the energy नै आउँदैन थियो to do that. But then I guess overall say little things was a complete growth process हैन, एकदमै growth चाहिँ भएको जस्तो लाग्छ हरेक हिसाबमा. It was तर त्यही हो, कुनै पनि growth process जस्तै हो. It was very hard as well. Growing can be very painful. यतिकै फ्यात्त परेर बस्न can be easy, but when when you're growing, it's sort of difficult. So it was difficult for me. But looking back, I'm not ashamed of anything. I'm proud of many things, but to be in that zone चाहिँ एकदमै धेरै anxiety चाहिँ हुन्थ्यो मलाई त्यति बेला त्यो फेजमा.
म त्यसमा एड गर्छु अनि how did you deal with that anxieties? Because you're a very introvert person and then you don't share much.
Yeah, well, I know. I mean, it's like, so I'm introverted, but when I'm feeling too much, I think I do reach out to my friends. Just I reach out to you, then I reach out to other very close friends.
Yeah.
This is the point as how and so I'm not out there like talking about it maybe, but साथीहरुलाई चाहिँ कुरा गरेर हुन्छ. And then कतिचोटि I do things like little things. So भर्खर खोल्ने बेला मलाई याद थियो, मलाई एकदमै sugar rush चाहियो to deal with. हुन त ठ्याक्क त्यो एंजाइटी बढाउँछ भन्छ हैन सुगरले, तर एकदमै स्ट्रेस इटिङ गर्थे म, एकदमै धेरै
डोनट खाएर बस्थे. I remember that.
Stuff like that. अनि कतिचोटि चाहिँ what I do is when I'm anxious, I let myself feel that. Shut down चाहिँ गर्दिनँ आफूलाई. एंजाइटी छ भने म एंजाइटी छ भनेर चाहिँ admit गरेरै I give it time. and then usually it works. Chuti चाहिँ I remember little things कति 2019 के एन्डतिर होला एकदमै धेरै काम आइपरिरहेको थियो and things were not working out अनि suddenly एकदम clients को phone पनि आइरहेको थियो. We were dealing with this massive consignment अनि त्यति बेला anxiety हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ म so what I did was I reached out to people. I said मलाई anxiety भइरहेछ भनेर अनि तर उनीहरूले जे भने पनि मलाई सुन्न चाहिँ मन थिएन. So I just shut the phone, like मैले phone बन्द गरेर I don't advise this to anybody. तर त्यति बेला चाहिँ म स्कुटरमा पुरा I like went around the city crying हुन्छ नि. So basically anxiety छ भने I guess it's important to admit that you're anxious and then feel what you're feeling, go through it so that पछि अलिकति lighter हुन्छ कि भन्ने चाहिँ होला.
Do you share with your family what you're going through? Take business home?
Oh, not really, because quite I don't know. You kind of want to keep it to yourself. घरमा चाहिँ अलिकति I'm on the quieter end खालको तर छिनछिनमा चाहिँ explosion हुन्छ हैन भन्नाले 3 महिना I say nothing and then suddenly there is a massive explosion. I don't suggest that either. Just try to talk to your people but yeah, म आफै चाहिँ अलिकति घरमा चाहिँ I tend to shut things down.
Yeah, I think I can relate to that. So Ritesh Pakuralji has asked on Facebook, Illustrator ni use गर्नुहुन्छ कि handmade arts हो सब?
And Illustrator मै draw गर्छु म चाहिँ.
Like one thing that I think when the cards started to come out first, so many people who knows you personally had that question कि तैले त्यो font जुन use गर्छस् नेपालीमा, how did you find out? Because it's exactly like your handwriting हुन्छ नि. आफैले like so can you like, and how do you also decide on the fonts? That's something that I want to know.
Fonts say font panis it's called Mkali. I use that a lot. The Illustrator my inbuilt is to font say. So like when I found it, because maybe आफूले नै लेख्ने जस्तो handwriting भयो भने होला त्यो अक्षरसँग चाहिँ मैले relate गर्न सकेर नै I used it. Font ma चाहिँ I don't think I'm really good at using fonts because मेरो I don't remember who the customer was. तर हाम्रो सुरुमा I think within the first year एकजना customerले चाहिँ you really should start using another font भनेर feedback दिनुभएको थियो. So I'm not really good at finding the fonts. तर यसो हेर्छु ट्राई गर्छु जुन font अलि स्वाको जस्तो लाग्छ context अनुसार त्यही use गर्छु. There is no science behind it.
Okay. So Sakar Pudasini, Sakar Daile चाहिँ फेसबुकमा के भन्नुभयो भने, do you know that I have written a kids book called Crafts and Coding inspired by Abha?
Yes, I know. Thank you, Sakar Dai.
I didn't know that. You didn't tell me about this. I'm so disappointed.
I'm shy.
So anyway, coming back to our conversations, Anna. So again, like before we talk about design, we're talking a little bit about store pani kasari store भयो. So store became more than just little things go store. You did mention Saktala pani you texted them to collaborate. So त्यो idea to build a concept store and take it from there. Can you talk a little about that? Like कसरी तैले approach गरिस्? अनि how was the response? How did you select कि को-कोलाई राख्ने हो? Curation कसरी भयो?
Again, it was a very spontaneous process. मैले भने नि like एकदमै खोल्ने भनेर पसल खोल्ने भनेर डिसाइड गरिसक्यो कसरी खोल्ने कसरी चलाउने डिसाइड नहुँदाखेरि नै I was like पसल रेन्ट गरिसकेपछि I realized the space was too big for just little things. I know. Ani, so I thought of like all the people I've met at art market. Ani, you say, कसरी curate गर्यो भन्दा first lot मा चाहिँ मैले 8 brands र company like curate गरेको थिएँ and they were already at the top of my head खालको के like these were people that I was following खालको जस्तै सत्या itself ले नै पनि उहाँहरुको कतिजना आर्टिस्टलाई प्रमोट गर्नुहुन्छ नि त it's not just like one person's work भने जस्तै कसले के बनाइराख्नु भन्छ कसले के बनाइराख्नु भन्छ अनि they have all these collection of really good different designs खालको अनि that's how I approach them. I एकदमै hit and miss पनि हुन सक्थ्यो हैन त्यो I don't think anybody would agree to actually come on board because like we were nothing त्यति बेला but thankfully आइदिनु भयो they decided to collaborate because again I guess it tells a lot about हाम्रो काठमाडौँको चाहिँ आर्ट कम्युनिटीको बारेमा it's like little things मै काम गर्दाखेरि मैले के एउटा कुरा बुझेँ भन्दाखेरि चाहिँ the art community is there to support each other खालको you know everybody सबैलाई support चाहिरहेछ सबैलाई everybody needs an outlet everybody needs inspiration everybody needs त्यो आर्ट पनि चाहिरहेको हुन्छ अनि अरू कसैले आर्ट गर्यो भने न आफ्नो आर्ट आउनु पनि सजिलो हुन्छ नि त सो त्यही अनुसारै हो अप्रोच गरेको पनि त्यही फिलिङले पनि हो and then it worked I guess हामीले सुरु गर्दाखेरि we had 8 collaborators हामीले बन्द गर्दाखेरि we had what 40 collaborators and unfortunately कतिजना आर्टिस्टले चाहिँ हामीलाई अझै पनि अप्रोच गरिराख्नु भएको थियो if they could sell their stuff at little things भनेर and we just had to say sorry हामीले बन्द गरिरहेछ भनेर
अनि बन्द चाहिँ how did it happen like why बन्द भयो because I think I got a lot of questions सुरजले पनि सोध्नु थियो किन बन्द गर्नुला and I just blankly said कि आबा गइरहेछ बाहिर
no यस्तो अब सनीको question answer गरे जस्तै it was a complete roller coaster ride and little things चाहिँ एकदमै highs एकदमै lows थियो अनि तर त्यो एक्सट्रिममा फिल गर्दाखेरि चाहिँ त्यसको इम्प्याक्ट इमोसनल इम्प्याक्ट साइकोलोजिकल इम्प्याक्ट चाहिँ एकदमै धेरै हुँदो रहेछ एन्ड देन आई वाज लाइक हामी एकदमै बर्न्ट आउट हुन थालिसकेको थियो क्या एट द्याट पोइन्ट मेहनत गरिरहेछ काम गरिरहेछ यसो हेऱ्यो भने सर्भिसमा अर्गनाइजेसन ठुलो पनि भइरहेछ बट देन मोनिटरी भ्यालुमा त्यो कुरा ट्रान्सलेट भइरहेको छैन एन्ड इट वाज अ होल लट अफ थिङ्स एन्ड वी वर गोइङ थ्रु अ लट अफ स्ट्रेस मेरो 2019 was a really tough year for me and then I could tell कि I know this is not healthy खालको नि अनि त्यही हो पछि अनि पैसा नै अनि सुरुमा त ल पैसा भए पनि हुन्छ नि लाइक पैसा अलिअलि थियो so we could still sustain it अनि सस्टेनै गर्न नसकेपछि at what cost are we running this भन्ने कुरा क्वेसन गर्न थाले हामीले and then again it was खोलेको बेला जतिको impulsive decision चाहिँ थिएन we thought about it for like complete year हुन्छ नि बन्द गर्ने कि नगर्ने बन्द गर्ने कि नगर्ने बन्द गर्ने कि नगर्ने भनेर अनि every time बन्द गर्न खोज्दाखेरि we would get this ray of hope from somewhere हुन्छ नि we'd get a massive consignment and we'd be like हैन sustain गर्न सकिन्छ भनेर but then eventually I guess we found out we couldn't keep going on that way so yeah and we decided to close little things
talking about हुन्छ नि बन्द गर्ने do mazi me ukiyo I think that is chimi is asking do you think location was an issue for the business not to work
maybe yeah I don't know but I feel like it's also about how you are running it पनि होला मलाई चाहिँ के लाग्छ भन्दाखेरि हामी पछि जो आउनु भयो नि त्यहाँनेरि but I'd gone to visit them and they did a really wonderful work with the interiors and I have a feeling they're going to do really good lockdown उठ्यो भने that is हैन हाम्रो I feel like हाम्रो salesmanship पनि अलि राम्रो थिएन कि जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई I don't want to blame it on the location itself because धेरैजना कस्टमर चाहिँ लोकेसनकै कारण पनि आउनु भएको थियो हाम्रो मोस्ट रिकरिङ कस्टमर्स वर would always be there because of the location हैन तर but then again it is tricky because त्यहाँ public गाडी चाहिँ आउँदैन थियो we definitely lost out on many customers तर हाम्रो salesmanship हाम्रै आफ्नै you know के भन्छ त्यसलाई
marketing strategy
introvertedness अलिकति पुचुक्क परेर बस्ने बानीले पनि I feel like it was not ideal for us to run a shop जस्तो चाहिँ लाग्छ मलाई
So also like as an art store the bhada हुन्छ नि त्यो rent it was त्यो ठाउँको लागि त it was kind of अलिकति महँगै हैन त्यो space?
Like because again we never rented out a shutter space, and we only knew about shutter spaces एकदमै fancy ठाउँहरुमा खालको where like it goes up to त्यत्रै space like 60,000 70,000 कति जान्छ अनि when we got it for I think I'm okay with saying it out loud 25K थियो कि यहाँको rent चाहिँ अनि when we agreed to pay for it the अरुण थापा चोककै धेरैजना लोकलहरूले चाहिँ हामीलाई you paid too much चाहिँ भन्नुभएको थियो like you तिमीहरूले त्यति पे गर्नु पर्दैन थियो भन्नु चाहिँ भएको थियो but then त्यही हो because you're an art storeले cater गर्ने crowd एकदमै niche हुन्छ त्यो sustainable चाहिँ अलिकति भएन
But now I can see that because you call yourself Arun Thapa Chokko Tole, that's where you missed out. And then now looking back, because you could have Linu and Nagari, you could have done some research, because so many of the Arun Thapa base camp mayos, yeah, any other places they could have at least helped you with yeah. So talking about store bio, and then you were already doing this card and stuff that you started taking like bulk भन्दा पनि branding little things के through बाट पनि हैन like you were doing weddings merches and all, you were doing events and all, so त्यो चाहिँ कहाँबाट how did it come to you हुन्छ नि like direct मान्छेहरुले we want to do this भनेर आउन थाल्यो कि referralsहरुको हुन थाल्यो कि and how was the process again?
I think word of mouth ले थियो कि त word of mouth कि त हाम्रो already के भन्छ हाम्रो existing customer base बाटै कि त उहाँहरुकै links नै आउनुहुन्थ्यो हाम्रोमा चाहिँ customize गर्नलाई so it was organic
so के कस्तो खालको चाहिँ तिमीहरुले गर्यो हुन्छ नि during that time कुन सेक्टरलाई चाहिँ भ्यायो
sector-लाई भन्दा पनि like we did a lot of event invites हुन्छ नि लोसारको के भन्छ जस्तै we had a client every time Yamari Punima she would send out our cards with these big Yamari baskets and then we had a client like NGO छ अनि त्यो NGO को लागि हामीले चाहिँ मसलाको प्याकेजिङहरु डिजाइन गर्दिन्थ्यो and then we did a lot of the but we did pretty high profile wedding cards like Richa Sharma ko ani Renesha Bantawa Rai उहाँहरुको पनि हामीले गर्दै हैन डिजाइनहरु अरु के गर्यो and then like अरु regular badgesहरु त like anywhere from an IT company to INGO त्यो एरियाको INGO हरु को लागि चाहिँ टन्न काम गरे little things वरिपरि सानेपातिरको
If I remember, like you started, I think that arke card the hi sir. I think the first design of card was Mother's Day card that you made for mom.
No, I know, like Mother Day cards. It was the first one that we sold to the customer. The first one that we ever made. So
and also your events could say I think the first one you did was for your cousin ko biya ko lagi. You made you designed that card. Do you have the design early?
Because I'm on my phone, I can't.
Okay. So पछि चाहिँ ए ल यो कजनको लागि त गर्यो भनेपछि we could probably do for others पनि भन्ने कुरा आयो
हैन यस्तो भएको थियो कजनको लागि गरेको थियौ हामीले हैन sorry कजनको लागि गरेको and then we posted it online त्यसपछि एकजनाले हामीलाई approach गर्नुभयो एउटा कस्टमरले and then we posted that again so त्यही अनुसार these people make cards wedding cards भनेर चाहिँ people who are willing to make different wedding cards उहाँहरूले approach गर्नुभयो
okay so Prakash Ranjit has a question did you separate a budget when you started or a target goal you had to meet for the thing to run 3 हप्ता एक महिना स्टोर खोल्ने 1 महिना अगाडि फोन आउँछ हुन्छ नि लाइक I want to open a store 2 हप्ता अगाडि I'm not doing it भने फोन आउँछ
I'm going to be brutally honest एकदमै हामी एकदमै impulsive we were very impulsive
तर little things like you went beyond just a car or design या store पनि because you started doing events like at least one इभेन्ट चाहिँ एनुअल भइरहेको थियो
Oh.
the speed dating thing. How what can you elaborate on that? Can you like talk about that? Like कसरी त्यो idea आयो, why you wanted to do it, what happened, how
त्यो idea चाहिँ खास so little things एकदमै whatever cards we have प्राय जस्तो चाहिँ single people tend to not like it so much because एकदमै मायालु एकदमै lovey dovey भयो भनेर भन्नुहुन्छ हैन. So I think this happened around February कति थियो 2019 हो हामीले फर्स्टमा गरेको त्यति नै हो
के रे 2019
हो. So त्यति बेला I think I'm not sure so I'm not gonna say the name तर सबिनको एकजना साथीले चाहिँ she said कि तिमीहरू खाली यो कपलहरूको लागि मात्र के गर्छ सिंगलहरूको लागि पनि के गर भनेर भनेपछि अनि I think I'm not sure because मेरो memory अलिकति hazy भइरहेछ but she bounced the idea जस्तो लाग्छ speed date गर न भनेर and we were probably like है गर्नु पर्ला भनेर जस्तो भएको थियो. We thought it would be a disaster तर उल्टो भयो.
Yeah, you did like 3 editions of speed date, right?
Yeah. अनि अर्को एडिसनको लागि पनि queries आइरहेछ अब. So yeah, we might consider doing that just for the fun of it.
Yeah. So ani tara like Sabrina also asked this, any memorable memories that you remember from speed dating?
Yeah, that's only yeah, there were many memorable memories.
I think my memory was when I hosted.
It was crowded. There are too many things to remember.
So what was your main when you do speed dating? What's your main like goal, agenda, or because you team up with Basecamp and how did it like? Does everything has an intention like Basecamp may choose गर्ने किन हुन्छ नि or the process that you have?
First one, I think first time गर्ने बेला चाहिँ because again अरुण थापा चोकको टोले भने we spent so much time at Basecamp. We probably wouldn't have approached anybody else anyway so Basecamp मै बसिरहेको थियो अनि परेश दाइ Basecamp को ओनरलाई दाइलाई हामीले दाइ यहाँ गर्नु पर्ला भन्यो अनि दाइले ल हुन्छ गरौँ भनेर भन्नुभयो. यतिकै एकअर्कालाई हामीले दुईटै पार्टीले एकअर्कालाई उचाले मात्र and then we started it. But एउटा कुरा चाहिँ के थियो भन्दाखेरि we wanted people to have fun one or could say we didn't want to उहाँहरूको privacy चाहिँ के भन्छ privacy मा चाहिँ problem नआओस् भन्ने पनि थियो के. So that's why we sort of never really posted photos from the speed dates उसमा social media because that was very important. I mean, my आफै speed date मा बसिरहेको छु भने I wouldn't want my photo to be out there for the world to see खालको. यो the couple they're getting married भने जस्तो पनि छ तर हल्ला छ अनि I've come across a couple of couples.
I'm pretty sure one couple is dating. I'm pretty sure there's one couple dating.
I'm sure there are more than just one.
So yes, for sure, Sabrina le pani. Ani also comment by Chemi is you should start a space for single people. Little Things Store was a space for single people. We would all go for hangout when we were single.
I that's one part I really like because my चाहिँ Little Things मा हुँदाखेरि के चाहिँ एकदम खुसी लाग्थ्यो भने जो पनि साथीहरू आएर ह्याङआउट चाहिँ गर्नुहुन्थ्यो like even randomest of people हुन्छ like person that I've probably talked to just once but they would just come and hang out यहाँ आएर काम गर्दा हुन्छ भनेर and then like we would build up on that relationship खालको.
Are you sure you missed that?
Yeah, I mean it was very like small talks वाला थिएन नि त त्यो.
I'm pretty sure when you were finally close, you were so happy. Like now, I don't have to meet anybody. I can like stay in home, not get out. Like this is something that people don't know. La. When people see you and then you get really excited. Oh yes, welcome. And then and then you give talk. Anything but you're very welcome. Like from mom type. Yes, welcome to my house types. and then once they're gone, you're like, thank God.
Well, so introverts do have their limits, Khalko. Like everybody is welcomed, but nobody should overstay their welcome. But as
Except Mala, please. There is someone from 1+60 भने अब को थाहा छैन तर उहाँको फोनले चाहिँ उहाँले के कमेन्ट गर्नुहुन्छ लाइक डगलाई चाहिँ यस्तै भुन्टु नै होला भुन्टी डगलाई चाहिँ एकदम मिस गरिराख्नु भएको छ एनी आइडिया वाट ह्यापन टु हिम लेख्नु भएको छ बट आई थिङ्क इट्स हर
that's pantang. Every day. म actually सपनामा मैले 4-5 चोटि देखिसकेँ अनि म घरमा पनि भन्छु त्यसले मलाई माया चाल हाल्यो भनेर बिकज अरू सुबले भने जस्तै अरू मान्छेहरू खासै भेट्न हतार भएको छैन but I do want to lockdown over भएपछि the first thing I'm going to do is go meet Panta. The good news is we have this wonderful friend called Radha. She works for Animal Nepal अनि उहाँले चाहिँ यो lockdown कै periodमा पनि her team has been feeding dogs and they've been looking after dogs अनि so yeah, म राधालाई पनि every time buzz गरिरह हुन्छु like how are the babies, what are they doing, are they okay भनेर so पान्टाङको चाहिँ 2 जना साथी छ भुन्टुङ र बन्टी भन्ने पान्टाङ भुन्टुङ बन्टी चाहिँ they're this like trio and they walk together and they're all fine, they're well fed, they're happy. उनीहरुलाई त अब गाडी साडी हिँडेको छैन कसैले डिस्टर्ब गर्दैन मोज गरिरहेछ. So yeah,
Pantang is very lazy though, by the way. So I think I'm almost gonna end it, because you wanted only 1 hour go. So अहिले चाहिँ the first question चाहिँ when you talked about like you're also doing branding communications, does it have to do with little things key? It's because they're linked in you're an independent brand communication consultant भनेछ. So do you kind of like link both of them key? Do you separate them? And then what is this whole branding communication, whatever that is?
So I know little things your branding communication part say it's totally independent. That's more Abha Dhital than it is little things. And again, this all started, this passion for branding communication started Vichitra ad agency where I realized I could do so much more than just writing khalko. I could actually imagine things and ideate गरेर or maybe यो कुरा चाहिँ हामीले यसरी प्रेजेन्ट गरेर कम्युनिकेट गर्यो भने it might work better when it comes to customers and आफैलाई चाहिँ कहिले पनि अप्लाई गरिन है फेरि little things because I was too shy to market my stuff. But yeah, अरू ब्रान्डहरुको लागि चाहिँ that's what I do. I come up with plans, communication strategies for them. अनि उहाँहरुको लागि क्यालेन्डर बनाएर त्यसकै त्यही हिसाबमा कन्टेन्टहरु लेखिदिन्छु. It ranges from social media to email marketing to website content to technical writing, so it could be user manuals so that the users know the brand better. That's what I do.
Talking about brands, Sunny is asking again, what is the best way for a brand to connect to its customers?
Brand life best way it has to tell a good story जस्तो लाग्छ. अब story कस्तो हुने चाहिँ it depends upon the brand है तर there are कतिवटा stories that you have to tell. Just say you have to tell people about the impact that you're making हैन. अनि अर्को चाहिँ अलिकति human elementsहरु राखेर गरे पनि राम्रो. म कस्तो blank भयो. It feels like an exam, but yeah, communicate like I don't know, brand cookies or definition. How would you want to define your brand? How would like communication के को लागि गरिरहेको? Do you want people to get to know you? Do you want people to stay with you? Do you want to reach out to new customer base? They अनुसारै different हुन्छ क्या communications त. There's no hard and fast rule. You have to be creative too if you want to stand out. Like bookहरुमा लेखेको रुल्सबाट जानुभन्दा पनि just I don't know, अलिकति instinctive, अलिकति personalized वेमा जानुपर्छ.
And how do you differentiate this? Because you work as a freelancer, how do you मान्छे चाहिँ यो काम चाहिँ यो प्रोजेक्ट चाहिँ लिटल थिङ्सको लागि सुटेबल हुन्छ अनि यो अर्को प्रोजेक्ट चाहिँ आभा धितालको लागि सुटेबल हुन्छ भने त्यो डिस्टिङ्क्ट ऊ चाहिँ कसरी
Little things go like say what I do is because art and design company, little things. When we started, that's how we started, and when we ended it, 20 art and design company, too. But little things was never a writing agency. It was never a communications agency. So when it this might the baseline, I guess it's easy to differentiate. So Alexa.
Ani, so any projects that you probably would want to share as a brand communication consultant that you've been doing?
Not really, because I can't really drop names.
Okay. Then any challenges that you faced? खासमा त्यो भन्न खोजेको थिएँ मैले तर
As a brand
क्लाइन्टसँग डिल गर्दाखेरि any challenges you've
my challenges is because I really do get a kick out of this work, when the clients hire you, they want somebody who will do something that they're not already doing. So I say luckily especially in the recent days, especially your lockdown period, they've been very cooperative. In fact, they're letting me take the lead. So yeah, I can't think of any challenge as such. Only challenge say computer no I haven't been able to illustrate, but I've been writing from phone, so it's okay, I guess.
Prakash asked, will there be a version 2 of Little Things?
Yeah, that's something we've been thinking about. I would say we're still trying to decide. Little things like business ko rupmai agadi badaune ki would we rather take it forward as a community? त्यसको बारेमा चाहिँ सोचिरहेको छु. But I'm not sure. At least at this moment, I do not have the energy to run little things as a business. I don't think it would be right for us to, take that leap when we are not ready. But as a community, say, will always be there. There's a more that I can tell. But as a business, say, फेरि आउँछ कि आउँदैन, I'm not sure.
Okay. So, like, I think this is almost मेरो आफ्नो personal चाहिँ final question हैन. So you work with the arts community, you work with entrepreneurs community. त्यो दुवैमा चाहिँ एकदम मजाले भिजेको हो त हैन अनि and these are like two separate and sometimes two similar communities. So what has been the experience like arts community मा काम गर्दाखेरि entrepreneurship को community मा काम गर्दाखेरि काठमाडौँ या नेपालमा what was the similarity, what were the differences, experiences?
I think entrepreneurs or artists creative entrepreneurial industry र artistic industry मा चाहिँ के एउटा similarity छ भन्दाखेरि दुईटामा strength चाहिँ चाहिन्छ. त्यो you sort of need that art हुन्छ नि आफै हुनलाई आफू जे छु त्यसलाई संसारलाई देखाउनलाई त्यो आर्ट चाहिँ चाहिन्छ जस्तो लाग्छ. That's one big similarity I can see. Strength ho हैन. Differences चाहिँ के छ भन्दाखेरि I feel like artists are more they're more shy. I feel like they're more reserved. Alikati, many artists I know have the imposter syndrome. They even when they're so brilliant, they think they're not good enough. Entrepreneurs, on the other hand, say, like sustain gornala, they have to push through. They have to be out there. They have to like sell everything. They have to so there's this term something. Just you have to do things.
Put yourself out there, Khalko.
No, until people believe it, Khalko.
You fake it till you make it.
No. I know if you're the phrase, Sonny, you just like keep telling people this thing, even if it's not true.
Until fake it till you make it, no?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so next thing is like Ajay Shrestha is asking what is your upcoming project or what is next? I think it is IDPS ke Ajay, but I don't know. If Facebook ma sodhnu bhayo hai.
What's an upcoming project? Upcoming projects भनेर खासै like I haven't really committed to anything, but I am trying my hands at different things. So say I'm trying to learn line animation so that I can animate my doodles. That's one thing. I've been working on Nepali fictions. एकदमै नेपाली कथाहरू चाहिँ नेपालीमा लेख्न खोजिरहेको छु म. Yeah, so like there is nothing that I've really committed to. Sunny, oh no, this is my new project. When I dehaunalai cha aile khasai ke पनि छैन.
IDPS ko होइन रे त्यो अझै different audiences. Oops, sorry. So, yeah, so like you've been animating, you've been like putting your few videos out on YouTube, which Sonny also mentioned again in comments saying like he can't wait for you to be back on Insta, watch your stories and YouTube videos. So if there's like, I don't know if there's any other questions out there. मेरोबाट त यति नै हो. Like, is there something that you want to share, अलिकति, although this is a very open-ended question for you?
I think same.
I think you missed.
Huh?
Do you think you've missed something, Anjani?
Did we miss something?
You love me, yeah. You missed telling that you love me, whenever. So I guess that's it.
I've got a question. Sorry,
Okay.
So Abha, like, so would you little things पछि गएर अलिकति मेन्टली पनि अनि पछि अलिकति फाइनान्शियल पनि तपाईलाई एकदमै लाइक ट्रबल इज नट द राइट वर्ड मेबी तर अलिकति त्यसले एफेक्ट गरेर हुन्छ नि यु डिसाइडेड टु क्लोज इट अनि तपाईँ अब फ्युचरमा यु वुड मोर बी लाइक एउटा लाइफस्टाइल बिजनेस बरु म ह्यान्डल गर्छु रादर देन हुन्छ नि अब एकदमै हाई ग्रोथ गर्न मिल्ने बिजनेस विच वुड ब्रिङ लाइक मोर लाइक अलिकति स्ट्रेस. So would you agree to that? Like, बरु म चाहिँ एउटा लाइफस्टाइल बिजनेस गर्छु जुन चाहिँले मलाई चाहिँ मलाई बरु धेरै पैसा पनि चाहिँदैन बट इक्वल लाइक ठिक्कको पैसा विच इज इनफ फर मी टु ट्राभल अनि पछि हुन्छ नि मेक माई एन्ड्स मिट एन्ड अल द्याट. हाउ वुड यु हुन्छ नि?
Yeah, I think I'd rather choose that because I don't think I would be very good at handling a very ek to growth garan सक्छु कि सक्दैन. That's the question. That's one question. अर्को चाहिँ ठुलो growth भयो भने पनि I feel like म एकदमै anxious हुन्छु होला. So as long as it's sustainable and it's small local but sustainable enough for myself भयो भने चाहिँ enough to sustain भयो भने चाहिँ I think I'd choose that definitely.
Yeah, okay, thank you. तपाईं छिटो आउनुस् इन्स्टाग्राममा. Sorry.
So
तपाईं छिटो आउनुस् न.
I'll butt in. There's one more question from Facebook, my DM aako. I don't know kalli pathaunu bhayo. Do you want to move to long form writing like book?
I mean, I would love to. तर म एउटा के भन्छ I don't know. Yeah, I would love to, definitely love to. But it's a long way to go, just Alexa. Bookma mero currently say, to be very honest, mero current state of mind say I want to be financially sustainable, right, at the moment because I've spent 2019 being really broke. But yeah, if everything worked out, I'd love to write a book, definitely. Long form, yes.
Okay, so I think we're almost coming to the end. We have an after party at Zoom, so you need to be here. Zoom ma bhayeko participants haru pani if you want to stay for after party, then do stay, you know. It's going to be fun. No drinks, bring your own booze. Because I don't think we've gone off on Facebook, I just want to say thank you everybody for tuning in. Follow Sattya on the Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And Abha ko say she is not anywhere right now, but she has a YouTube channel. I'm sorry, I have to do this. She has a YouTube channel. Chamkiri bhanne username cha usko. And Little Things is not active right now on Instagram. Tara अहिले follow गर्दामा के जान्दैन because they have amazing.
I also have Coil on Coil. You can add.
Well, I didn't मैले भन्नु थिएँ तर फेरि I thought that you don't want to like
भन्नै हुन्छ
ए ल Coil on Coil is also out there, it's open now, आभाकै हो भनेर, so पहिला चाहिँ illustration मात्रै आउँछ, आजकल चाहिँ अलिकति animationsहरू आउन थाल्छ, so that's pretty nice.